Hey everybody, it's Brooke here from Anita Goodesign, and today I am going to be showing you how to put together your reusable grocery bag. Now I'm going to need you to take out your tutorial and we are going to hop down a few steps. Following your pictured numbered steps, you're going to go ahead and cut your pattern out using your PDF template in your folder. So now that you have your pattern all cut out and your embroidered motif on the front of your bag, we're going to go ahead and double fold to create a top stitch and a nice finish around your bag handles. Once you have everything pinned in place, we're going to go ahead and top stitch. And now we are going to take our fabric scissors and we are going to trim our excess fabric close to the stitching line. And now we will turn our reusable grocery bag inside out to create a French seam. And now we will stitch another 1/4 inch seam allowance on all 3 sides. We will now pin our handles in place and stitch at 1/4 of an inch. Turn your bag right side out, and then we will move on to creating a French seam with our corners. In order to do this, you will need to match the bottom seam with your side seam. Stitch across your corner using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and repeat on the next side. Using your fabric scissors, clip your excess fabric close to your stitch line and flip your bag inside out. Repeat the same process as we did with our side and bottom panels. Pin your corners in place and stitch again using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. And now that we have assembled our grocery bag, we're going to go ahead and move on to our pocket. We are going to start with our top pocket panel. We are using the dimensions that you will find in your tutorial. For our C size, it is 6 inches in width and 5 inches in length. Once you have your pocket cut out, you're going to fold it in half and press. We are now going to take in about 1 inch with our pin. Using a ruler and tailor's chalk, mark in 1 inch on each side. We will now stitch using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, starting from your pin around the corner and down the side edge. Once we have stitched our top pocket panel, we're going to go ahead and using the opening, flip it inside out. Using your guided measurements in your tutorial for the dimensions of your bottom pocket panel, we will now repeat the same process we did with the top panel. We will now create our loop. It's important to note that our loop stays the same size throughout all 3 pattern sizes. For the dimensions for our loop, you will be using 8 inches in length and 2 inches in width. Once you have your loop piece, you're going to go ahead and fold your fabric in half. You're going to want to give this a nice press. This will create a nice seam allowance at the bottom. Next, you will open up your pattern once more and you are going to fold your fabric into that center seam and press. This will allow you to have a clean finish for your design while folding your loop in 4ths. Once you have this as a nice press, you're going to go ahead, fold it once more, and top stitch. Now I've went ahead and gave my pockets a nice press so that they are nice and crisp. We're going to make sure that the open edges of our panels are facing out. And now we are going to go ahead and pin our top panel to our bottom panel. We are going to mark down at the top edge of our bottom panel about 1 inch. Use your 1 inch marking as a guide to align your top panel. Then pin in place. Once pinned, you can go ahead and flip your pocket over. And you're going to go ahead and mark in 1 inch for your loop. Make sure to lay your loop ends on top of each other. Align the bottom of your loop with the top edge of your pocket and pin in place. Now we will attach our pocket panels. We are going to be attaching the pocket to the back side of our bag. It is important to note that you only want to pin through the back panel of your bag. You want to make sure that you're not pinning through both sides, as it will close your bag together. Now that we have finished pinning, we are going to stitch around our entire pocket using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Our last step in the construction process is to fold in our handles and align them at their seams. You're going to go ahead, pin in place, and stitch down that seam. And look at that, we now have our reusable grocery bag. And you can see that we played around with our cotton for our pocket. I tried to mimic a pineapple. So we have this fun green fabric on the top and this yellow fabric down here. This is our C size. I also have another one here that I wanted to show you, which is our A size. So you can see there's not too much of a difference, but enough to carry all your wonderful groceries. And if you prefer to not mimic the motif on the front, you can play around with other decorative cottons or linens, any textile that's durable that you prefer. And you can even use the same textile as the top panel and the bottom panel. And now you know how to piece together your reusable grocery bag. Now this collection comes with a bunch of different motifs for you to choose from, including cabbage and carrots and pears. You have a lot of fun stuff to play with, and we have a great tutorial for you to follow in your All Access magazine. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and post. Make sure to share when you have created your own little reusable bag, because I love to see what you guys come up with. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Happy sewing.